Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to start with a very interesting and important topic, that is voice. This is part 1. This is very important topic for exams. So let's begin the session. First, we'll discuss the meaning of voice. Voice refers to the relationship between the participants in the event that is narrated and the event itself. Now, suppose we write a sentence. The basic structure of a sentence is subject, then we have verb, and then we have an object. Subject is one who performs the action, and object is one that receives the action. So the participants in the event means, now suppose this sentence is describing something. So these subject and object are the participants of this sentence. Now, subject is one who is performing this action which is going on, and object is one who is receiving the action which is being performed, or object is a person or is anything which replies to the question what or whom. Now, if anything replies to either of these two questions, that is what or whom, is called object. So this speech that we use to write or say, this sentence structure, this narration is voice. Voice is of two types. One is active voice and other is passive voice. Suppose the sentence is written in simple tense, or you can say the sentence is written simply according to the rules of tenses and the basic structure of the sentence. That is subject plus verb plus object, or subject plus helping verb plus main verb and object. This voice or this type of sentence is known as active voice. In passive voice, when the sentence structure is reversed, it means whenever object is focused. Object is focused. Now this is very important. Here the object is focused. It means subject is irrelevant. Whether we know the subject or not, whether the subject is written or not, it hardly matters. But object should be there and it should be focused. That voice is known as passive voice. Now we write the sentences in passive voice when we do not know the subject, we know only the object. When object is to be focused, when object is to be highlighted, the sentence are written in passive voice. The sentence is written in passive voice. Now let us elaborate active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the subject of the sentence performs the action. Well, whenever we have a basic structure, that is subject, then we have helping verb, then we have main verb, and then we have object. This type of sentence is known as active voice sentence, or the sentence in active voice. In this, whatever the action is done or is going on, it is performed by this part of the sentence only. It means subject. And this sentence is written according to the rules of tenses, or in different tenses it can be written. We know well that we have various tenses: present tense, past tense, then future tense. Then we have further parts: present indefinite, past indefinite, future indefinite, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous. Then we have present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. Then we have present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous. So these sentences are written according to the rules of tenses, and the main verb can be first form, second form, third form. In any form, it can be according to the rules of the tenses. So as the helping verb as well. Suppose I write, I am writing a letter. This is active voice. She is going. Now in this sentence, we can see that there is no object. Then even the sentence is correct. This is an active voice. They are making the project. The subject and object both are there. The sentence is an active voice. And subject is written prior to the object. So this type of sentence is known as active voice sentence. Let us see one more sentence. Karan built a house. Now in this sentence, Karan is a subject because he is performing the action. Built is a verb. It is in second form. Then a house. This is an object. What did he build? He built a house. So this is replying to the question what. So this is an object. We have already read this in sentence structure part and subject object part. So this is the basic structure of a sentence. Now, when we come to passive voice, the structure of the sentence is reversed. In this case, in passive voice, the object is focused. This is primary and most important function, that object is focused. Comes prior to the verb as well as subject. In this case, object is always written before the subject. It means a person who is performing the action or the verb. Also, the subject is shown with a preposition. It means a person who is performing the action, that person we call agent. One who performs the action, we call it agent. It is written using a preposition or attaching with a preposition. For example, if I say the aeroplane or airplane was invented, it means if somebody asks me that what about aeroplane? What happened to it? Was it natural? No, it was invented. So the aeroplane was invented. So what was invented? So this thing, this is not performing an action. In fact, this is replying to the question what? This was invented. By whom? Now we know well that it was invented by Wright brothers. Now in this case, if we see this Wright brothers, these are the persons who are performing the action. So it means according to this, these should be the subjects. But it is written on the object place. On the object place. A person who is performing the action is written on the place of the object, whereas the thing which expresses an object is written on the subject place. So this is written on the subject place. So this is called a passive voice, in which the object, that means the person or thing that receives the action, comes prior to the one who performs the action. This structure of the sentence is known as passive voice. Now, some things are there which are necessary to make a sentence in passive voice. What are these three things? Let's discuss them. The first thing is object on subject position. Position or place. This is the first passive structure indication. Second is be form. So any form of be should be written there. Now forms of be are, present forms are am. It means if the sentence is in present tense, there should be is, are, or am. If the sentence is in past tense, there should be was or were. And if the sentence are in third form of be required, that is been, that is in perfect tense. Ing form of be is being. In continuous tense, we use being. And in future tense, there will be modals. So with modals, be will come as it is, like will be or shall be. If there are modals like can, may, might, so it should be written like can be, may be, might be, and so on. So second thing is be form is necessary to convert the sentence into passive voice. So two things are compulsion. Now third and the very important thing is the main verb of the sentence should be in third form or past participle. Main verb should always be in third form, or you can say past participle form. So past participle refers to when the verb is in third form. When the verb is in third form. So this is important. So it is object plus be plus verb third form. This is a rule by which we can convert any sentence into passive voice. These three conditions are most important conditions to convert a sentence from active into passive. Now there is an example of passive voice. The same sentence which we wrote in active voice, that is Karan built a house. Now let us write this sentence in passive voice. So here the object is house. This is the object which had received the action. So house will come first. Now this is the sentence of past indefinite tense. Now in case of past, we have be forms was and were. Now house is singular, so it should be was. House was. Now build is first form, then built is second form, and built is again third form. So was built. Now Karan is the performer. So we call a performer a subject as well as agent. And agent, in preposition we have read, agents are shown with by. So it should be by Karan. Now one more thing, these agents which we are writing here right now, that is with by, we should keep this in mind that these agents are countable and living. Then only we can use by. Otherwise, we can use several other prepositions as well, like we use to, we use at, we use with, etc. Well, those we'll discuss later on in the session only. Now, the house was built by Karan. So this is the passive voice of the active sentence. Now, let us move to some rules of tenses. So identification of active and passive voice. Active structure, subject plus verb plus object. Subject role, the subject is doer of the action. This we have already done. The teacher taught the lesson. Now the teacher is the subject, taught is the verb, and the lesson is the object. This is basic structure of the sentence. Passive voice structure, subject plus form to be plus past participle, that is verb third form, by plus agent. This we have already learned. The lesson was taught by the teacher. Often passive sentences include the word by followed by the agent or doer of the action. This I have already told you that by is used to show the agent, but there are several other prepositions that we can use. Now steps to identify active and passive voice. Locate the main verb. First identify the main verb in the sentence. Determine who or what is performing the action. Now this all I have already told you. So this is just the theory. If the subject is the doer of the action and there is no form of to be followed by the past participle, it is likely to be an active voice. If the subject is receiver of the action and there is a form of to be followed by a past participle, it is likely be passive voice. Look for by phrase. If the sentence is a by phrase, it is often but not always indicates passive voice where the agent performing the action is mentioned. Now, let us have some examples. She writes the letters. She, the subject, is the doer of the action, writes. Therefore, this is the active voice, and passive voice of it will be the letters are written by her. Passive voice, the letters, subject, receive the action. Now, here the subject is behaving like an object. It means the object is there, which is focused and came at the place of subject. Now, let us discuss some rules how to convert a sentence of active voice into passive voice. First of all, identify the subject, verb, and object. In an active sentence, typically the structure is subject plus verb plus object. The chef cooked the meal. Now look at the sentence carefully. Here the chef is the subject because he's doing some work. What he's doing, he's cooking. He has cooked actually. What has he cooked? The meal. Now if we convert this in passive voice, the meal is the object in this sentence. To write this in passive voice, let us swap this. So let us take this on the subject place, that is the meal. Now, whenever the sentence is in passive voice, we should identify first the tense of the sentence. Now, the chef cooked the meal. This is the sentence of past indefinite or simple past. Now, we know well that subject plus verb to is used in this sentence. So, this verb to here has to be converted in verb 3. So, cooked, third form of cooked is also cooked. But the be form in past is was or were. Now here it is written the meal, which is singular. So it should be was. Third form of cooked is cooked. Now agents are shown with by. So by the chef. Now the subject of the sentence comes in the place of object. So this the chef is here. The agent, which is shown by. Now was is be form, cooked is main verb third form, and the meal is object of the sentence which is written on the subject place. Now becomes the subject, the meal. Use an appropriate form of to be. This also I have told you earlier as well. The verb in the passive voice is formed by using an appropriate form of to be. To be forms is are, was were, be being, being. Then the past participle of the main verb, that is verb third form. Cooked is the main verb, so it is the past participle form also cooked. Choose the correct form of to be based on the tense of the original sentence and the subject. For our example, in the simple past tense, we use was for the subject. Add the past participle of the verb following the form to be and the past participle of the main verb. For cooked, it remains cooked. Include the original subject, now the agent, with by. Now let us see some examples. First sentence is, she writes a letter. Now she is the subject, writes the verb and a letter object. Now the sentence is an active voice, as we can see here. Now the passive voice of it, to make it passive, let us first have this object on the subject place. So a letter is written. Okay. Now the sentence is in present indefinite, and we know that present form of to be is, am, or are. Where are is used with plural subject, am is used with I, and is used with singular subject. Now in this case, she is a singular subject, therefore we have written is. She, a letter is written, writes third form, written. This is verb third form, be form, and this is object on the subject place, by her. So whenever we write this subject on the object place, we know well that we have two cases. One is nominative case and another is objective case. Now it should be kept in mind that whenever we are writing an object on the subject place or a subject on the object place. So these two cases should be kept in mind, that is nominative case or objective case. So the sentence should be written, or the subjects and objects should be written likewise. If the object is coming to the subject place, it should be in nominative case, and if the subject is going to the place of object, it should be written in objective case. So she will be converted into her. They have completed the project. Now object is the project. Now the project is singular, whereas they is plural. So whenever we are making this object as a subject, the verb is used according to this. So the project is singular, therefore we have used has been completed. Third form of completed is again completed by them. So they is converted into them. That is the object. So these are some examples of active and passive voice. Let us see some more. The manager will review the report. Now the sentence is in future indefinite tense. So the manager will review the report. So will is modal, whereas review is verb, and then the report is an object. Now again the object will come on the place of subject, that is the report. Now this will is a modal, and modals are always followed by first form of verb. Now this is the basic rule of modal, that modal is always followed by verb first form. So be will come as it is, because in passive voice this is a requirement that we need form of be. So subject is followed by will, then it is followed by be, then the main verb's third form, that is reviewed, then agent is shown by, and the manager. That is the subject came on the object place, that is an agent. So the correct passive will be the report will be reviewed by the manager. Now one more thing to be kept in mind, that we have present tense, then we have past tense, and then we have future tense. Now present indefinite, we have present indefinite or simple present. Again we have past, simple past or simple past indefinite. Then we have future indefinite. Then we have continuous, so present continuous. Then we have past continuous, then we have future continuous. Then we have perfect, all in 3. Perfect. Then we have again perfect, future perfect. Then we have perfect continuous. In past as well, in future as well. Now one thing that should be kept in mind while we are converting a sentence into passive voice, that this perfect continuous of any tense will not be converted into passive voice. These are not converted into passive voice. One more thing, this future continuous tense is also not converted into passive voice. So we have, out of these 12 tenses, we have only 8 types of tenses that can be converted into passive voice. Now let us move further. Active form, verb 1, that is base form. Then passive is are. Now this is present because so verb third, past participle. Now is are plus verb plus ing. This means this is continuous. So in this thing we have is are, then being, then verb third form. Now if this is the structure of active sentence, there should be the structure of passive form. Now if we have has have plus verb third form, it means perfect. So in passive case, it should be has or have plus been plus verb third form. In simple past tense, it is verb 2. So your verb was and were are followed by verb 3. Then was verb plus ing. So here again was verb plus being plus verb third past participle. Then had plus verb third form. Here had been, then verb third form. So if the active structure is like this, the passive structure should be like in this form. So will shall modal plus verb first form, this is future indefinite. So will shall modal plus be plus past participle. Then will shall modal plus have plus verb third, this is perfect because we do not have future continuous into passive voice, therefore it is not written over here. So this should be like will plus shall plus modal plus have plus been plus verb third form past participle. To verb one base form, be plus verb third past participle. To have form verb plus ing being, and having plus verb third form, that is perfect participle, having been plus verb third, that is past participle. Now when we do the sentence of all these voices, it has definitely come to your mind that how to use these verbs in the sentence. Now rest part will continue in the second session or second part. Thank you.